Berserk is a manga, released in 1989, written and illustrated by Kentaro Miura, rest in peace. It has been critically acclaimed and is probably one of the best mangas of all time, with dark imagery, a deep story, and most importantly for this video, a host of philosophical themes. It has had a few TV adaptations, but the 1998 anime that covers the Golden Age, a certain time frame of the story which deals with the origins of some of the main characters, is the one that I will cover here, as it contains a heavy dose of existentialist themes without riding too far into the fantasy elements that come later, although it is still obviously a work of fantasy. I know that this is a topic that has been covered on YouTube before. In fact, I got the inspiration from the philosophy YouTube Jonas Seeker. I'll link his video in the description, but I wanted to do my own analysis and try to cover some new ground and look into existentialist themes that perhaps aren't as obvious. So, let's get into 3 existentialist themes in Berserk. Number 1. Existentialist feminism. This is a theme that I have not seen anyone else pick up on, but I think it is a major theme surrounding the character of Casca. Casca is the only female warrior in the Band of the Hawk, and before Guts, seems to be what is essentially Griffith's second in command. She tries to keep the rabble of the drunken men under her command. In fact, when we are first introduced to her character, she saves members of their warband from being killed by our hero, Guts, taking him on one-on-one with a much higher degree of success than anyone else. Her female characteristics don't hinder her from doing what she wants to do. She is a fighter, she is a strategist, and she is a successful one at that. This follows some themes of existentialist feminism, such as Sartre's Existence Precedes Essence, or de Beauvoir's What is a Woman? The core of existentialist feminism is that there is no right or wrong way that a woman should act. A woman, as such, is just a social construct. Yes, there may be differences in biology between types of humans, but that does not entail that either sex should behave a certain way. There is no essence that we are predetermined to follow. We have complete choice over our existence and how we choose to make use of it. This means that women can become warriors. They can become leaders, if they wish to, just as men can, not letting any societal conception of a woman's essence slow them down. We see this exemplified when Griffith finds Casca in a flashback. Her origins show her transformed slowly into an existentialist warrior. Casca was a village girl, forced into obeying the social norms of being a woman. She was a little traditional medieval girl, eventually being sold into being a servant for a local noble, who wished to use her for nefarious purposes. She began to have thought that she had no choice in the matter, and that this was just the way things were. This is at odds with existentialism, which always begs us to never accept our fate. But then Griffith shows up. Instead of killing the noble and outright saving her, reinforcing the gender roles that man protects women, Griffith throws her his sword. He tells her that if you have something to protect, then take up the sword. Griffith is offering Casca a chance to escape her essence of a traditional village woman that will oppress her and force her into mediocrity, and instead offers her a chance to break free and become whatever she wants to be in life. She can be a fighter, she can be a warrior, and she can protect herself, but only if she wants to do so. if she has the courage to break free from the norm, she does end up joining him. Therefore, we see that Casca represents existentialist feminism, carving her own path through the world and not letting anyone tell her what she can or cannot do based on her biology. As Griffith says, you must choose which path to take now that you know what it means to fight. Number 2. Bad faith. Griffith ends up hating those who follow him blindly. This can be described as bad faith. Bad faith is the existentialist idea that people sometimes follow beliefs, ideologies, or religions and so on, even if they don't truly believe in them. Bad faith is the way some people essentially cop out of thinking for themselves, because thinking for yourself is hard, and follow someone else to gain comfort. This is why Griffith grows to despise his followers. They have no ambition as he does. In his mind, he follows nobody, yet they do whatever he wants them to do, meaning he views them as inferior and feeble-minded. But then, Griffith himself gets consumed by ideology. To take a detour that I promise I will make relevant, this theme is seen in existentialist literature, such as Sartre's work of fiction, The Road to Freedom. The main character of this work is Matthew, a character in a bit of a crisis. He wants to be free, but does not know what it means to be free, and is at a loss in figuring it out. At one point in the novel, a character by the name of Brunet offers Matthew to join the Communist Party. Ultimately, Matthew does not accept, but if he had, it would share similarities with Griffith. He is wanting to gain freedom, just like Griffith does, as Griffith wants to escape reliance on his mercenary followers and escape his reliance on employment from local warring nobles, and they are both presented with an easy way out. Matthew could join the Communist Party. He would have more influence in the going on of things. He would feel a sense of belonging, just as when Griffith accepts his ascension to godhood, he gains power. But ultimately, their difference, and where Sartre would say Griffith went wrong, is that he accepted these things on bad faith. In believing and following these easy ideas, and following the group, the God Hand, in exchange for comfort, one loses themselves, as they don't truly believe in them. They are following them under bad faith, belief for the sake of comfort. Lust for freedom can often end up in taking the easy way out to comfort and power. We see Griffith despise those who follow him blindly, in this bad faith sort of way. For example, Griffith loses respect for Guts and Casca because they will follow him to the ends of the earth. They follow him into battle, follow him in his schemes, and carry out whatever task he has for them, no matter how gruesome or violent. He, on the other hand, before the God Hand, follows nothing but his own ambition. Compared to him, they have no plans, they have no dreams, they just follow him comfortably, without seeing out their true potential. This analysis of Griffith, before his turn to the demonic powers, shows that he was the true existentialist of the group. He was carving his way through the universe with his own power. The others were merely trotting along without much reason, without much purpose, which an existentialist would disapprove of. Hence why Griffith came to hate his followers. Number 3. Denying determinism. Determinism is the idea that everything in the universe is already planned, and that we are helpless to change the course of our lives and history. Existentialism denies this, as thinkers like Sartre believed we always have a choice to change, and we always have the chance to act however we please. Therefore, we are responsible for the way our lives pan out. We see these themes in the anime as, on a general note, our main character Guts has to make a conscious choice every day to keep training, to keep fighting and to carry on. He doesn't let the universe suck him into its flow. He tries to carve his own path out. So does Griffith. They physically fight against the current. We see this visually portrayed strikingly when he is held back by the demons in the final episode, who seem to be on the side of determinism. The universe essentially pulling him back, holding him down as he sees horror unfold in front of him. This is analogous to many situations in real life, where we seem to be helpless to stop tragedy and awful events that shake the world in their magnitude, yet we wipe our conscience as we tell ourselves there was nothing that we could do to stop it. We may see terrible things happening in our own lives and assume that that's just the way the world works, that we have no real control of our lives. But Guts doesn't let that happen. He fights the demons holding him down, killing some, and eventually losing his own eye in his painful struggle. This is existentialism. It is a fight against the careless universe, but in a way where we realise that we can indeed fight. We might find it tempting to let things happen and accept determinism, to accept our fate. But writers such as Sartre will be quick to point out that there are no invisible ghosts holding you back. There are no forces of the universe restraining your freedom. You can act in whichever way you please, and as such, you are completely accountable for everything you do. You are condemned to be free. Guts does not act passively. He does not let the universe or the demons force him to give up and stand down. He is always struggling and fighting for his own goals, because he has the agency to do so. This is the theme of determinism versus free will. That is a major part of existentialism, and I think Berserk. So, to conclude, remember these themes when reading Berserk, and keep an eye out for other existential and philosophical issues and problems that arise in the manga, because there are definitely a lot. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.